We all know that I like dessert. No, scratch that. I love dessert. So it was very important to me that I had recipes in the book because I'm an avid baker. I used to be a home baker at one point, which is why I champion so many of them on my website. So each chef has given 2 recipes. They're a mix of savory and sweet. And for me, I contributed, or rather I included in the book, 11 recipes of sweets that I like to eat. The flagship recipe in this selection of the 11 is my cheesecake recipe. This cheesecake recipe is very special to me because it was the recipe that I used to make the cheesecake that I was selling when I was a home baker. It's a recipe that I've been tweaking, perfecting for about maybe since I was in my 20s. It's a cheesecake that is just a plain New York cheesecake, but it's about 5 inches high with a very special nut crust. And everyone I've served it to falls for it, hard. So I'm finally sharing the recipe in my book, but I had to think long and hard about whether I was really going to do that because, you know, it's my baby. It's something that I nurtured from the very beginning, and I didn't know if I was ready to share it with the world, but that's what a book is about, sharing. So, well, producing the book took 14 months. It was a long and challenging journey. It's composed of 3 parts. So there are my essays, the chef profiles, and the recipes. So in order to cull my best and my favorite pieces from the blog, I really chose those that were the most popular and my favorite as well. How much is new material? That is really interesting. I never really thought about that. I would probably say about 75% is new material. So, and the remaining percentage is
stuff we already love.
Stuff that, oh, that's a nice way to put it. Stuff that we all, or stuff that my readers already love and know about, yeah. There are 2 recipes in the book which they just make me drool every time I think about it. One of them is a recipe by Chef Him Uy de Baron. It's called the Braised Wagyu Beef Cheeks. But its secret name is Lori's Cheeky Ramen. This recipe is something that Chef Him created for me late last year when I had oral surgery and I could only, I was on a soft food diet. So he serves this in his restaurant, and it's basically braised Wagyu beef cheeks in a milky broth. And it's got noodles, and right dead in the center of the noodles, this milky broth, and the beef cheeks is this delicately poached egg. You pierce it, and the golden yolk just flows out into this incredible ramen. Okay. I desperately wanted that recipe in my book because Chef Him had created it for me, but apparently the broth takes 12 hours to make, and that wouldn't be very friendly for readers of the book. So he adapted the recipe for me. So instead of a ramen, it's really just dry noodles with braised Wagyu beef cheeks. And the recipe is there, and it's easy enough to do, and I have a variation for it in the book to serve it with a side of roasted bone marrow. Oh, so good. Okay, and the next one, the other recipe that I really love in the book is a simple banoffee pie. It was contributed by Chef Ricky Morelos of Dulcelin. Now, you know, we all have recipes for banoffee pie, but this one is so different. First of all, the entire pie is baked in or rather it's constructed, because it's a no-bake pie, it's constructed in an 8-inch pie pan. So that already makes it very squat and dense. And it's an Oreo cookie crust. It has dulce de leche, and then bananas, and then a dark chocolate ganache, and then Nutella, and then whipped cream over all. It is the best banoffee pie I've ever had. It is so good. I've already made it 5 times since I submitted my manuscript. It's that good. Okay, let's cut. Let me just... Every writer's greatest dream is to write a book. And after 8 years of Dessert Comes First, blogging, I just thought it was high time for me to put my best work to date in a bound and tangible form. Basically, hard copy as opposed to soft copy. And my readers had also been asking for years for me to write a book. So I thought that it was about time, and the stars aligned, and I was able to do it. So the book is a journey through nostalgia for me. I was able to unearth a lot of the old things that I had used when I was a kid growing up. This page is particularly poignant for me because it illustrates a lot of my old things that I'd forgotten about. So over here is my first, quote, cookbook that I had made when I was 9. It has a grand total of 4 recipes. And obviously, at 9 years old, I was very proud of it already because it says there, Lori's special cookbook. Try it, with a gold star. So there. And then these are my very first ever measuring spoons and cups. As you can see, they're so banged up, and they don't even have this anymore now. I think it's like an old-fashioned egg beater. And up here is obviously something that I will never use ever again, cannot ever use ever again. It's like a rusty grater that I used to grate stuff before. Well, I shot all the pictures in the book myself, at least all of the food and travel photography. When it comes to taking photos of food, or when it comes to taking photos of things that I can't eat, I'm no good at that. So somebody else took the pictures of the chefs for me, but I took all the pictures of the food. A special part of the book that I'd like to share with you are what we call tip-ins. So there are 16 of these tip-ins in the book. There's a pull quote or a pertinent quote taken from the succeeding essay that is printed on the tip-in. And these tip-ins signify to the reader that they're entering a new chapter of the book. I love this because this is a picture of an egg. And in the book, I've dedicated an essay to my love for eggs. You know, a perfectly soft-boiled egg, I mean, it's golden yolk, you know, just delicately cooked, and then you pierce it and that yolk comes like oozing sexily towards you, and then you hit it with some truffle salt. Oh my God. I know, it's like when I start talking about food, it really takes a lot out of me because I get so involved in it. Like I kind of have to like remind myself to rein it in.